Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. We currently have no dice, and I think that means we have to rest, which is going to advance this hunted thing. We still have one more day, so it's not the end of the world. Oh look, we have an option to inject a stabilizer. Without regular doses of stabilizer, sleeper bodies actively decay. A corporate insurance policy to disincentivize escapees like you. Things seem to be going quite well so far. Ooh, we got some good dice there. We got ourselves a 6 and a 5. We could make some money on the exchange. We need some money to get to the low end gate, but we also need a key. And I think we can get those here. There's a Yataghan agent. Key node here. This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. Well, I could do 1 or 2, I only have 3, so we can't do this today. Which is a little bit upsetting. There's a Heaven Edge agent right there. No need for here. Only you guys need a 3. This one has a 3 here, I don't know if that means 3 will work. It does. An Heaven Edge member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. Let's bypass and see what we get. We gained 5 cryo. And we got ourselves some Heaven Edge data. Still not entirely sure what to do with it, but when we need it, we'll have some. So should we focus on mostly making money today? No, Feng still needs 1 more day. The drone bay? Oh. The drone bay is also a sealed hunter's nest. We've already done the tangled nest, right? Yeah, we did the tangled nest in the last episode. So we have the sealed nest down here. And we have the atrium up here, so we don't actually have to go into the lower end. So we can just focus on getting the keys, but go to the auto exchange. Let's use our 5 here. Let's start the action. You snap up scrap by weight, then parcel it off to traders with a nice markup. Yes, we can also do that with the 6. Is there anything else that I need to do? What else do we have? I could use the 6 on the ambergris to see if we can, well, fix it. Assuming it's still here. Yes, it is. It's over here. Can we do anything with this 6? I know we should really be focusing on making money, but I can use the 6 here to guarantee 100% positive on the repairing of the ship. And Kita needs all the help she can get with the ambergris. Pockmarked with damage, the hull is a good place to start. There we got +2 to ship shape. With Ankita's help, you systematically isolate, remove, repair and reseal the hull plates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. That leaves us with 1-3. What could I possibly want to do with 1-3? Do I need food? I need food, so, but let's do that. I could do something that's going to help us pay for the food, I guess. Even though it's only 15. Get some spiced fungus. Lovely, fully fed. And can we use this 3 in the auto exchange? What's the chances of it going horribly wrong? 25% chance of negative. I like money. Let's try it. Hey, 12 cryo. You lose a little, then claw it back on a stack of sealed air filters. Let us step away while you're still in the black. I think we may lose another dice tomorrow. I'm not sure when's the point that I should be worrying about restocking my condition, but let's go rest in the container here, end the cycle, and see what happens when this hunted ticker climbs up. Okay, yeah, we lost a dice. A 4, a 4, and a 2. Ugh. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. A cynical bounty hunter, huh? I like his outfit. I'm gonna stay still. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he has terrible news. You got all the way out here and stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. Is that a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of god-forsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. I'm gonna make a break for it, goodbye. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away, and sprinting down the corridor. And the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze, and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home. He whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. We can work this out, right? I got some money. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to Essenarp right away. That trachea of yours makes this too quick. I was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know. A run-in battle through the Bright Market, maybe? Or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That Essenarp tracker would be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship, you stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. It's better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking. What's the rush here? Here we are, in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we are heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye. I'll shoot you. You plot, or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles, you come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab. I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Extortion. Okay then. That sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you. This is so much better. He clicks something at his belt, and the ring releases from your wrist. I'm gonna see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. Oh no. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? So now we have even more reason to need money, huh? I mean, I can toggle the tracking, but I got a horrible feeling. Oh no, here it is. Is it every... How many turns does he want me to pay him off? Every 4? You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. This bill isn't going to be small, is it? Well, luckily our friend Feng is looking at breaking our tracker. The fact that he knows where we live is slightly problematic, but let's go and speak to Feng. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper. Puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. I'm just going to follow him. He steps into the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you ripped. Well done, by the way, he grins. Tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. You want to confront him? That's right. It's the perfect time. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere in the black a water pipe drips. It's him, sleeper. The same Hardin Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He rode out the whole thing, slipped into Heaven Edge when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here, running the station one day, and then next, Erlin's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them, as the palladium market collapsed. They tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. But my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart. Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Hardin, shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly, you don't know much about executives. The kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Sure, let's go. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock, locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space, so that the welding, cutting and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across a gantry. And at the front, two men. One gesturing towards the ship, and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of grey hair. Hardin. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Hardin knocking along. Hardin Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin. A Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of. Against everything Erlin stood for, everything Heaven Edge stands for, you have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, it's good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. I'm going to stay silent. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim, right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sounds of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Hardin, you shithead, you can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. I'm gonna calm Feng, I think. Getting shot doesn't really solve that many problems, does it? You look at Feng. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket, and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, sketching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What's that? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the rings, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies, the ones he is messaging right now. And we are going to find them all. Wait, that was on purpose? Of course, Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Hey, we gained an upgrade point. Can we get a +2? Bah, boo, we need 3 points for that. So we have... should I save this point, maybe? I could get rid of my endurance debuff? I quite like the idea of recovering energy at home. But that uses one of our dice actions, so I'm not entirely sure if that's all that worthwhile. Self-repair seems kind of useful, using scrap components to repair condition. Engineer seems quite good, but maybe I should just go for instant karma so I can re-roll my dice. Let's hold on to it. But I think this is a perfect place for me to end this episode, so thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does mean the world to me. And as always, I'll see you next time.